they know it's cruel and hurtful, but what's the whole point?
Well, a new breed of internet bullies are getting their kicks by deliberately making strangers angry and upset, and it's happening on many of the web's most popular sites. It's called trolling.
Internet trolling is when people go searching for ways to offend people online. It largely happens in places like Facebook more and more, in a lot of sort of forums and comments underneath stories.
Some don't stop at insulting strangers. They attack the dead, targeting families in mourning.
They will specifically target Facebook pages or tribute pages to people who have actually passed away. RIP trolling is the most destructive, the most heartless form of trolling because people are obviously grieving.
While the trolls post anonymously, they can be tracked down. In 2010, Queensland woman Jessica Cook pleaded guilty to posting offensive images and comments on the tribute page of a murder victim. In Melbourne, police were also forced to intervene when teenager Cameron Lowe's remembrance page on Facebook was filled with vile images and distasteful jokes. It's happened overseas too. Last year in the UK, a man was jailed for taunting grieving families online.
Internet trolling is worse than face-to-face bullying. People who tend to go down that road, you'll find, wouldn't normally be people who you would pick as a bully. Oftentimes they're very intelligent people who are behind the trolling activities. They're not sort of, as people would recognise bullies as thugs or, you know, they don't think. Experts
say it is the worst kind of online bullying.
These people are very, very decisive and very articulate, and they're very deliberate.
So how can it be stopped? Why do they do it? Psychologist Collett Smart joins us now, journalist Claire Connelly from news.com.au, who conducted an investigation into trolling. Morning to you both, Claire. You spoke to a couple of trolls.
Yes, I spoke to them.
What are they like? Are they mean, angry people?
No, you know, they're really, really lovely people. It became harder and harder for me to reconcile because I spent a great deal of time talking to these people, and they're nice kids, you know, if not a little bit disturbed, but I spent a lot of time with them and I've developed great friendships with them actually, and so it became harder and harder to reconcile their behaviour online with the people that I knew.
Collette, what drives people to do this? We talk about this a lot, that it's like people are getting nastier and nastier.
I think what we're seeing is now the internet. So we have no capacity really to read emotions, read facial expressions and things like that. So you can remain anonymous on the internet, whereas before, you know, we were talking about letters to the editor and so on, those would just be ripped up. But now people can do it instantly, so it's an instant message that gets sent out. And in some ways, I think psychologists see this kind of behaviour as almost sociopathic or narcissistic comments. So it feeds their sense of dominance or power.
Claire, do they realise or do they take any regard for the person that they're aiming this vitriol at all?
Some of them
You're
do.
saying they're nice people, but that doesn't stop them.
Some of them do. I mean, Sarah, who I spoke to, she was very remorseful about her behaviour online. You know, she'd belonged to a parenting forum, and I think she was just a bit bored and a bit lonely one day, and she started lashing out at another mother on the site who had posted half-naked photos of herself and saved those photos and posted them on Facebook and wrote really hateful things about this woman on Facebook. And she was almost banned from the site, and immediately she snapped and said, "Oh, what have I done?" You know, she was really heartbroken and incredibly ashamed at what she'd done. Some of the other people I spoke to, not so much.
Wow.
It just depends.
It is staggering, isn't it? Well, Claire, thank you so much. Collette, thank you for coming in. Really.